These 5 quarterback prospects has the most raw talent.
Basha likes Baker, huh?
I don't know.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah. I'll jump in.
Go ahead.
I'll jump in right here and go
Will
LJ.
Selva and Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
You just talked about the comparisons. We hear the Michael Vick. Anytime you hear Michael Vick's name, very polarizing name on and off the field, but from an athletic standpoint, when you start comparing yourself to Michael Vick, when other people are doing it, you're like, whoa, let me pay attention. I heard right-handed Michael Vick, but a better throw. That was the first thing I heard when I started hearing about him at the QB position. And then on top of that, even though he's a great quarterback, and I feel like he will be a quarterback in this league, when you start saying that you can play wide receiver, that just speaks about what type of athletic ability you have.
Over 3,000 rushing yards in the past.
It's insane. Gamer. All right. Pure talent. I got to go with this guy. We have now reached the Babe the Blue Ox portion of the Josh Allen hype. The Paul Bunyan. Mayock came out and said it's the biggest arm he's seen since JaMarcus, who is the Michael Vick of arm talent, on his back from the end zone, throws it out of the stadium. And you know what's cool about this? First time I started hearing about Josh Allen, I'm like, I think Joe Flacco. Tall, big arm, smaller program, but he's not. He moves better than Flacco. He's more like a Matt Stafford, even a Carson Wentz. This guy can truly do it all. He is not one of these statues with a cannon. He can move. Pure talent, I think it's this guy.
I'm going with just raw talent. Also,
do it.
I'm doubling down with Kyle here. And Nate mentioned it, but I got giddy watching just a couple of highlights. He is always moving, and he's throwing these crazy long passes. He flicks the ball, and it goes 60 yards. I don't think we've seen an arm like this since Cam Newton entered the league, and that's high praise. And I think they're talking about JaMarcus Russell, Kyle Bowler, Joe Flacco, the biggest arms that the NFL has ever seen, and he's in the conversation. The question is, does he have another pitch than that fastball? Because you can throw the ball 1,000 miles per hour and 1,000,000 yards, but can you throw the 6-yard out? Can you throw the underneath pass? I don't know if he can. He's going to have to prove that this week.
I mean, show the people that photo of him, Peter. Go back to his single.
This guy right here.
If you Google quarterback stock image, that's what comes
him.
up, right?
That's the one, Josh Allen.
Yes. You know, and it's funny that you mentioned
Not
Stafford.
Darnold's hair, and then look at this.
Because I got there in 2010, and Matt Stafford was very young. And I remember him growing up and maturing right in front of everybody's eyes. And he was talking to a reporter one day, and they said, well, what's the biggest difference between your earlier years and your years now? He said, I realized that I don't have to rip it and gun it every time I throw it. And I remember running a crossing route about 5 yards in front of Stafford. And I'm running across the field. I'm leaving Seattle, where Matt Hasselbeck would throw a beautiful, lofty ball, and it'd land right in your hands like a Steph Curry three-pointer. And then I got to Stafford, and he ripped it to me, and my hands were stinging. And I got to the huddle, and I'm like, Steph, baby, like, chill out, man. Just relax. And he's like, nah, I'm going to get it there. I'm going to get it there regardless. To the point where he said to me, I feel like sometimes I could throw through a brick wall. But the question is, how do you take that mindset and then elevate and evolve as a quarterback? We'll see if Josh Allen can do that.
Because that's the knock on him, right? What is it going to be more like you said yesterday, Paxton Lynch, or is he going to be more like Big Ben? And do you think we'll find out and have a clearer answer after the combine?
He's got a lot to prove because Senior Bowl, he had a good week of practice, a bad first half of that game, and then threw some really beautiful passes in the second half. Combine, going through all the throwing drills. We'll see what he can do.